Hello everybody, in this lesson I will teach you how to calculate the equation of the exponential function. Example 1. The graph f of x is equal to b to the x plus q is shown. K, 1, 3 is a point on f. Determine the equation of f. Now when you go to the sketch, you see this dotted line over there at y is equal to 1. And this line is indeed your horizontal asymptote. So can you see they don't mention any of that in the words, but when you go to the sketch, boy, it's there. So you must understand. And this is a very important line since that is also Q's value. So let's start. We will start with the equation that they gave us. F of x is equal to b to the x plus q. And then in q's place, we will substitute 1. And then now we will find b's value. So this is where we will use this other point, the point 1, 3, consisting of an x and a y to calculate b. In y's place, we substitute 3 equals b. In x's place, 1 plus 1. 1 walks across, 3 minus 1 is b, 3 minus 1 is 2 is b. Therefore, the equation of this exponential function is f of x is equal to 2 to the x plus 1. Example 2. The graph g of x is equal to b to the x plus q is shown. A, 1, 4 is a point on f. Determine the equation of f. Again, they don't mention the horizontal asymptote. But when you go to the sketch, it's very clear that this dotted line over there, the line y is equal to 2, is indeed q's value. So we'll start with the equation. And then in q's place, we substitute 2, the horizontal asymptote. Then this other point that they gave us, the point 1, 4, consisting of an x and a y, we will use that point to find b's value. So in y's place, in goes 4 equals b, in x's place 1 plus 2. Let 2 walk across, 4 minus 2 is b, 4 minus 2 is 2, therefore b's value is 2. And then the equation of the exponential function, g of x is equal to 2 to the x plus 2. Example 3. Now you will see that there's only words given here, there's no sketch, but it's not a problem for us. Let's read. The function y is b to the x plus q passes through the point 3, 19, and it has a horizontal asymptote at y is equal to negative 8. Determine the equation. So can you see in the previous two examples, the horizontal asymptote was only indicated on the sketch. Now, in this case, they tell you the horizontal asymptote is at y is equal to minus 8. So now you have to interpret that as q's value. And the other thing that's given is this point 319 that consists of an x and a y coordinate. So we will start with the equation y is equal to b to the x plus q, and in q's place negative 8. So in fact they are testing whether you understand that the horizontal asymptote is q's value. Then we will calculate b's value, and this is now where we will use this other point that was given, the point 319, consisting of an x and a y. In y's place, we substitute 19 equals b, and in x's place, 3 minus 8. And now we will solve b. Negative 8 walks across, 19 plus 8 is b to the 3. 19 plus 8 is 27, is b to the 3. And then in this step, to find b, you can simply take the cube root both sides, or what I did was I prime factorized 27, that's 3 cubed, and then divide away the exponent 3. But it's exactly the same as finding the cube root. So therefore, b's value is 3. And then the equation there, y is 3 to the x minus 8. Before we continue, have you subscribed yet? Or you can like this video, and better yet, please tell your friends about my channel. Let's continue. Example 4. The graph of y is a to the x plus t is shown. Stop. I want to show you this y is a to the x plus t. Don't be scared. Suddenly there's an a where there's usually a b, and now there's a t where there's usually a q, but don't worry. The t is in fact a constant, and we know that it's q's value, and we know that that means it's the horizontal asymptote. So it doesn't matter what variable they use there, it's just a variable, it's a placeholder for something. It means something, and it means the horizontal asymptote, which is, when you go to the sketch, it's the green dotted line, and that's the line y is equal to -1. So it's q's value, it's t's value, it's the same thing. And then furthermore, they tell you L1, -3 is a point on the graph. Determine the equation of the graph. So now we will start with their funny equation. Y is a to the x plus t. T is the horizontal asymptote, which is -1. And then we will calculate a by using this other coordinate that they gave us, the point 1, -3, consisting of an x and a y. In y's place, we substitute -3 equals a, in x's place 1 minus 1. Let -1 walk across. -3 plus 1 is a, -3 plus 1 is -2, and a's value is -2, and it looks right. Therefore, the equation of this exponential function is y is -2 to the x minus 1. Example 5. Now you will see that I looked hard to find an example here, but I felt I had to add this example here. What if you get something like this? Now let's see. The question says, determine the equation of the exponential function y is a times b to the x passing through the points 126 and 5 and 416. So what is happening here? There's no horizontal asymptote, but when you go to this equation, because there's a plus 0, which is very invisible, we actually know that q's value is plus 0. But that's not the point. The point here is that suddenly there's two variables. There's a and there's b that you need to solve. Now, just like every other course that I explained on functions, when we had to find the equation, when there's 2 points given, we will use simultaneous equations. Now let's have a look here. We will start with that little equation, y is a times b to the x, and we will generate our first equation. So we will take the first point, which is the point 126, consisting of an x and a y. And then in y's place, we substitute 26 equals a times b, and in x's place 1. And then I'm going to make a the subject of the formula here. So I will divide away the b, and I end with 26 over b. This is a. And you call this one equation number 1. Then we will use this other coordinate to make or generate equation number 2. So we will start with y is a times b to the x again, and in goes the coordinate 5, 416. X is the 5 and 416 is y. Let's substitute. In y's place, 416 equals a times b, and in x's place, 5. And then you call this equation 2. So what we will do is, now equation 1, we have that one in terms of b. A is 26 over b. And in this one, there's an A, so we will substitute number 1 in that A's place. So it works like this. We say, substitute number 1 into number 2. There's number 2. And now here, in A's place, we will substitute number 1, 26 over B. So that we have a little equation where we will solve B. So what we'll do here, b will cancel and we will be left with b to the 4. And then it's 416 equals 26, b to the 4. And now we solve b. Divide away the 26 both sides and we end with 416 divided by 26 is 16, is b to the 4. And then we will take the 4th root, or what I did, I prime factorized 16 and I wrote it as 2 to the 4 is equal to b to the 4, and then I will divide away the 4 as the exponent, or I will take the 4th root. It's the same thing. Therefore, b is equal to 2. And then I also want a's value, so then I said substitute b is equal to 2 in number 1. You can choose either number 1 or number 2, but number 2 looks complicated, so I just chose number 1. 26 over b is equal to a. Now I know b's value is 2, so therefore in b's place I substitute 2. 26 over 2 is what a is. Therefore a is 13. And then just to conclude, my equation is y is equal to 13, and then the 2, which is b's value, I put inside a bracket. So it's 13 times 2 to the x. And there's your equation. In the next video, we will discuss some graph interpretation with the focus on the exponential function. Click on the video in the left-hand corner to take you straight to the next lesson.